So Arsenal lose at home. Well, where do you think it went wrong? Do you think this is a one-off thing, or you think this has been coming and it's all falling apart?
I won't be harsh to say it's falling apart. I'll say it was coming, but I'll also look at it as one of those moments when you are chasing the title, you stumble, and then how do you react after stumbling? Because all these title chasing teams have had a point where they suffered. I remember when Liverpool were, I don't know how many games unbeaten, and Watford came out of nowhere, and Watford just hammered them 3-0. So, but how do you reorganize yourself? But when I say it's been coming, I'm talking about, and this is not just about Arsenal, maybe about the whole league, the way it is. Like there has been way too much grinding. There's a point this season when Arsenal depended on seeing off teams. Once we get the first goal, that's it. We just see off the game. So it was more on uh like the season has been built on resilience, on being physically strong, being athletic, and seeing off games, seeing out games, as opposed to just going ahead and killing teams. And when you get a team that becomes physical, like Sunderland was, and United the other day, and then just fighting your way through and grinding becomes difficult. But also, if you look at Arsenal's numbers, when you have a team where your creative players are not scoring, then that becomes a problem, because I mean, Saka has 3 goals, Gyökeres has 3 goals. If you look at Arsenal's leading scorers, you have Zubimendi is up there above the forwards, Declan Rice is above the forwards, Gabriel is above the forwards, and then I don't know how many Trossard has. So there has not been enough goal threat, and that gives your opponents room to grow into the game, because United sat back, and then they realized that Arsenal was not really threatening, although they had the possession. So the fear goes away, and once the fear goes away, that's when United start taking risks like those. You see those shots United took. That was just confidence, and where does the confidence come from?
Yeah, that's true. By staying alert and staying on your toes, but I still believe if Ateta does not panic and take out Zubimendi, Acuna does not have space, a lot of space to take a shot like that. There would be somebody to see that ahead, and that's why nobody has been able to do that because of the structure we've had. And
Yeah,
I
yeah. Let
know
me
they
just
made.
interrupt you there. Let me just interrupt you there for a second, because immediately Zubimendi was brought out, Declan Rice got a yellow card, and I knew that was going to be a problem. That was going to be a problem, because even Zubimendi out, and Dogu and Bruno are interchanging those passes. Declan Rice will not take a tactical foul, because he's on a yellow card. So I think that Zubi going out created that loophole you're saying,
Yeah.
and also Declan remaining the only holding midfielder and on a yellow card. That kind of took out something. But also, I like Arteta taking risks with doing all those changes. In my own opinion, it does not strike me as a better like chance creator than Odegaard. I know
It was
Odegaard is
direct
not.
football. United are playing direct football. Wanted to play back direct football. I think that was pretty much it. The way we just go forward then like them. Because if we're not like knocking around ball, then okay, maybe we don't need much control like that. We're just going for sporadic moments now, and I think that's what that was. Because he's talented, and he's capable of a sporadic moment. He's capable of doing those, and I think that was
Yeah,
that was the thinking. Yeah.
yeah. I get it from that angle. I just find him to be more of a Jack Grealish type of player. He carries the ball. He carries the ball, but when the team is defensively solid, then you don't have a place to carry the ball into. So you want somebody to pick that pass. The passes that you will see Bruno Fernandes picking, a pass that previously you could see De Bruyne picking, because United have already put the block there, so you cannot carry the ball into the block. Are you able to pinpoint that pass? And I think when it comes to pinpointing a pass, I've seen Odegaard reverse some passes to Saka before in a crowded area, a very thin pass to Saka. I'm not so sure if Eze has that capability to spot a run and just thread a small pass.
Yes, he's a different threat, though he's not the same player as Odegaard for sure. In the height of the game, and I think they were positive changes for sure. They were just too quick. They were panic changes. You don't put four players at a time. It just shows you're panicking. Even if you're panicking, don't show it. You have 3 windows to make a sub. Make 2. Read 5 minutes later, make 3. You make 4 at a go, then it doesn't work. It just shows that you're panicking. And I don't know. Mikel Arteta he's gotten us this far, and I like his tactics, but I think he needs to switch it up a little. It's, as I said at some point, it is easy to be chasing or to be kind of the second guy to be chasing when there is someone else that is setting the standard. City were the standard. When Liverpool came and they kind of took away the league by the first leg, Liverpool were the standard. Now we are the standard, and I think he doesn't know how to steer. He just doesn't know how to be ahead, and it's not to be unfair to him. He's a new coach for sure. He's never been in a position where he could genuinely be going for all 4, and people are actually expecting, and he's actually in that position, and he needs to show it. I know maybe it might have been one blip, but the not attacking had been coming against Liverpool, against Nottingham. We cannot depend on 0 shots on target from our opponent to give us a point. You cannot depend on that every day. It's not possible. Yeah. Yeah, well, they punch you in the teeth, then what? You need to do something. And that's where we got found out. I was kind of happy when we were 2-1 down. I was like, we have enough time and we have all our players. Let's see what he's going to do now, and kind of disappointing. I don't want to be harsh on him because I think he's still head above shoulders everybody in the league. And you mentioned Saka 3 goals, who 2 goals. I mean, why is everybody expecting us to win the league, right? Why is everybody saying we are bottling if we have low quality forwards, realistically, right? It is a miracle, and it is just Arteta that we are up there. So I will trust him on that. But on an occasion like United, I'm sure he understands it better. He was a player there. He was under Wenger, but on an occasion like United at home, yeah, beat them. Then you can donate the 3 points if you want to, but make sure you win the game. You want to win the game against United at home.
Yeah, with the game.
Yeah, you have to win
And
the
you put
game.
level. You
Yeah,
put level in the 83rd minute or 84th minute. If
yeah.
it takes you 84 minutes to pull level, don't lose it.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
lose it.
Yeah, you understand the occasion. Imagine people booing him and his first position. I think that was embarrassing because maybe the fans are, well, I can't tell fans how to behave, but maybe the fans are panicking. But at the same time, something needs to happen. People want, maybe we're not there yet. Maybe we'll be there in like 2 years. People want Arsenal to be that elite team that won the league. The super Liverpool team, the super Man City team, the super Man United team, the Invincibles. We're just not. Look at our forwards. We're just not that quality. But somehow we found ourselves in first position. I think we should just go with the wind and reduce the panic. And I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, it's the fans, but I would like to say it's an emotional sport. When you had a chance to go, I think 9 points clear and you drew Liverpool, then you had a chance to go 8 points clear and you drew Nottingham, and you have a chance to go 7 points clear and United are winning the game. You lose to United, then the fans are like, we know Pep. We've seen what Pep does, and if we have to go 9 points away from Pep, why are we 4? So restlessness comes in because fans keep on looking in the side mirror and they're like, is it another season that Pep wants to come from behind and and take it away from us. So I understand that fear, but with that being said, Arsenal's title challengers have their own big problems. That's the only reason that's making me say that I'm still with Arsenal to take this title because, I mean, Man City are cheating on themselves every other match week.
They're
They were 2
15th in
points
the
behind
form
Arsenal.
table. Yeah.
Yep. They have been 2 points behind Arsenal. And then 3 or 4 games later, it could have been 9 if Arsenal beat Liverpool. So how did it get there from being 2 to potentially 9? The same for Aston Villa. I mean, I don't even want to talk about Liverpool. So
Yeah.
I think United is a bigger threat to Arsenal than Liverpool right now. So
Yep.
I don't want to talk
Yep.
about them. So Arsenal's challengers have problems of their own. And
But
I think
realistically,
it's
though,
just
if United if United win all their games, well, they might finish. Arsenal cannot drop 12 points for sure. We might drop 5 or 6, but not 12. You might finish second. Do you think Carrick can do it?
we can finish.
Why not? One game a week. Why not?
Well, in my opinion, we gave away that one. We gave away the chance, and I'm going to tell you how we gave away the chance to compete Arsenal. We had Burnley, Leeds, and Wolves back to back. Those were 3 winnable games. Out of 9
Remember,
points,
we
we
said
picked
that's
3
when the
points.
guy would shave his hair. Yeah. Around
Exactly.
November.
Out
Yeah.
of 9, yep. Out of 9 points, we pick 3 points. We drop 6, and then we host Everton at home, and then they fight themselves and get a red card in the 4th minute, and they beat us. You see, those are 3 points that we throw in there. If you take those 3 points and you put on the 6 we dropped with Leeds, Burnley, and Wolves, that makes it 9 points. If you give United those 9 points, we are 3 points behind Arsenal and firmly in the title race.
But if you're talking about ifs, then we would have beaten Nottingham and would have beaten United at home. As it is right now.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that because I mean we would have beaten Nottingham. So in fairness, that cancels out. But as it is now, we are how many behind City and Villa? And we have to
5.
play Villa.
You guys are like
around
5
there.
points
I think
behind them? 8.
no, maybe 8. They are 4 points behind Arsenal, and we are 12 behind Arsenal. So
5.
that leaves it to
Yeah.
8. 8 with 15 games to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to be carried away. I'm still going to say that we target top 4, but a spot for position 3 is opening up.
Yeah. You think the what's happening at United is you think Carrick might be the man? I think so. I think he might revive them, and the fact that this is Manchester United at the end of the day, and they're out of all these cups. They're not chasing 2 cups. They still have pride in them, and they would carry a lot of confidence after the last 2 games, for sure. And they're going to handle these other teams mentally ahead, because once you show people you can do it, and I know they've done this before, you just have to go for it. 1 game a week, you have your pride to play for. I think it's a possibility. I think the fact that City and Villa are tied at points, once you approach one, you've approached the other. So if you overtake one, you overtake the other.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
very true. I mean, City has to play Aston Villa, then United has to play Aston Villa. So when City meet Aston Villa, one or both are going to drop points. And when United meets Aston Villa and capitalizes, then we get it somewhere. But also the good thing about what makes me optimistic is that nobody's in form in the Premier League.
yeah.
And what United needs to do is to get the basics right. We just got the basics right and we beat Man City. We just got the basics right and we collected points against Arsenal. There was nothing tactical that United was doing against Arsenal. Survive, hang in there, stay tight, ensure that be physical, ensure that you bully them on fight Arsenal on set pieces. Though we considered a set piece goal, but we were really fighting. You look at that set piece goal when Arsenal threw bodies in, United threw bodies in. So it was, we are going to fight Arsenal. We're going to go man to man. We're going to make Arsenal make, those square passes. And then when we get a chance, we wait for, if Dogu and Mbomo and Bruno are making runs, we send the ball up, then we collect the second balls and we go. Just basics. Put the ball up, follow the ball, press from high. Basics. And now the fact that no team has perfect form in the Premier League right now, if we get the basics right, we might just have an interesting half of the season.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Nice. I think Carrick is up for it, and I don't know. I think bringing Kobe Maino was a good thing. I mean, honestly, you guys were going to lose Kobe Maino. Such a good player, just the way we've lost Ethan like
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah.
he'll be back, yes, but yeah.
It's a very tough thing. I've tried to analyze what was going on with the Amorim and what's happening now. Kobe Maino came in first game start versus Man City. We win. He puts in a man of the match performance against Arsenal. I know people got carried away with how Kobe Maino did in Man City and the fact that he's starting and he's been dropped many times and now he's reviving himself. It's not that he had a standout performance yesterday, but now the whole point I'm
I
raising
did
here
not have
is
a stinker, you
when
know?
Kobe Maino,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was okay, you know? Yeah. He's just a good player.
he was a good player, but during Arsenal game, people are beating Amorim as like Kobe was a game changer during Arsenal's game. But my whole point here was against Man City, he comes in, he has not been playing, he just comes in and puts up man of the match performance. During Amorim time, Amorim used to bring Kobe on in some games, and Kobe
Yeah.
never delivered. And whenever Amorim brought Kobe on, you could see why he was not started. And people say it's because Kobe does not have the rhythm. He's not starting. He needs to play more to get into the rhythm. But Carrick's first game and he's in the rhythm. I don't know why he did not need time to get into the rhythm with Carrick, while he needed time to get into the rhythm with Amorim. The stinker we gave away versus Grimsby, that's a game he started. The Everton game when we were 10 men, he got over 30 minutes. That's enough time to give an impression. I just feel like him and Amorim were probably not just on. He did not agree with what Amorim was wanting, and he probably did not agree with being put on the bench. And it got into his head that whenever he was
Yeah.
brought in, he never thought that, you know what, let me prove a point.
Yeah.
He was probably just done with Amorim, and going forward, I hope that his mentality is better than that, because he's a top kid.
What? Yeah.
Whenever you dropped, when you come in, just do your thing, because Amorim dropped Dogu and even came out and said that whenever Dogu touches the ball, I feel tension in him. And then he dropped Dogu. But when he brought Dogu on, he's the one who put Dogu up front. It's not Carrick who put Dogu up front.
Yeah.
It's Amorim who
Yeah.
brought Dogu and put Dogu up front. And Dogu just responded after being dropped and being called nervous. He just came in and responded. And when Fletcher came, he kept Dogu there, and Dogu delivered, and Carrick has kept Dogu there, and Dogu is delivering. I think the thing with the Amorim system is that it inconvenienced players. Luke Shaw had to play centre back. He will naturally like to play left back. Dalo does not like going forward because he's nervous. Dalo just like being a right back. And right now, Dalo is a right back. He's not world class, but Dalo is doing the basics as a right back. When he was a wing back, we saw how many passes he misplaced. He was not confident going forward. Dogu was not very confident defensively, and even as a wing back. Uh, Bruno Fernandes was played out of position. Kobe Mainu was dropped. Zakzi was on the exit. So Amorim came in with a style that did not favor the team. And the only way that Amorim was going to be a success was if we wipe out like 8 players or so. But what Carrick has shown is that the players we have in our if they get the basics right, then there's a team in there.
There is a team in there, and talking about mentality, I think Kobe mentality is fine. He has shown it on the pitch. I think he's fine, and yeah, I think he's gonna be a good player. I like to see that. I like to see talents showing. I don't like to see someone languishing on the bench or something like that. Someone that has shown so much potential. I mean, he started in the Euro final, did he? England, was it? Well, one of
Yeah,
these.
he did.
One of these.
He played the Euro final. He started it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing that Carrick is there, give fresh life. I hope he's the guy. I mean, Man United and Arsenal back at the top would be nice. I don't mind winning this one and United winning the next one.
Yeah, I'm still. I still don't want to be carried away because I hope that the United board, does not make emotional decisions because I'm an emotional guy, and if you beat Man City and you beat Arsenal, I'm wondering why Sir Jim has not asked you to say how much you want and just go ahead and trash that that contract. But you see, that's why I'm a fan. So I'm hoping that the United board approaches this
Yeah.
differently because I said here before Arsenal that Arsenal is going to attack us, and that's where we thrive. That's one of
Yeah.
the things I said that made me go for the draw. That I'm going for the draw because Arsenal is going to attack us, and that's going to give us a chance to sit back and plan from without being the ball and target and see how we get them. And that really happened. The same happened
Yeah.
versus Man City. Then what about when, because those both games we've had below 50% possession? What happens when you have 70% possession? Are we going to use transitions when teams are sitting deep? But also, I want to point out something that you see how United play right now, how impressive they are, and you really forget what Amorim put into the team. That's real quick, and I'm going to mention a few things. You see how United are very comfortable with Carrick in small spaces. Triangles they do for Shaki, that interchange between Dogu and Bruno leading into the goal, players asking for the ball when they are under pressure and starting from the back. Under pressure from Arsenal, we're starting from the back with Lamens and sweeping those passes across, waiting to take them inside. That is not new. That's not
Mm.
new. We've been doing that. You see how United players are attacking with intent. Once they get the ball, they swarm up front, creating chances and trying to see off the game. That is not new. That's been there. The only problem we had, which Carrick has nailed, is being solid. That's why I'm saying he got the basics right. He has all players playing in their position. So he just came in, picked his back four, went back to the three midfielders, and we've played good teams that are not in their best form and collected very good results there. But it's very hard for me at this point to separate Amorim's system with Carrick fully, except for the fact that Carrick has fixed things that Amorim should have fixed, but he did not because of his ego, because he and the sporting director had fights, and he wanted to show that I'm still the main decision maker here. That's why he did not adapt to the system, to adapt and play 4-3-3. But at the same time, he also told the club that he was not going to play 4-3-3 anyway, and they still went with him. Now, it's games that teams are going to sit behind that are going to let me know who this Carrick is. Because Carrick has coached 5 games. In those 5 games, he's played Pep Guardiola twice. He's played Arteta twice, and he's played Unai Emery once. He's not lost any of them, but he has only coached big games. Carrick has never coached a small game for United.
Mm.
So
Yeah, and
I
Tuchel, I
still wait
think.
to see his fingerprint.
I think
It was
draw again with
it was
Tuchel.
it was Tuchel, Arteta, and Unai. This is the first time he's meeting Guardiola, right? Because he drew
Yeah,
with Tuchel, then beat
yeah,
Arteta in the FA, and beat Unai in the Champions League. Yeah,
yeah.
so it's the first time he's met Guardiola. But in other words, he's only played big games, and
Mm.
I want to see how he plays small teams.
Well, it looks like the good days are coming. There is Moses and then there is Joshua that will lead you to Canaan, but we'll see how that goes. But onto the other side of town, Liverpool, man, what happened to Liverpool? To be honest, people are putting pressure on Arsenal, but everybody knew Liverpool was going to win the title. They had just won the title. They revamped contracts for their big players, Salah and Van Dijk. They went and spent 400 million plus on all these brand new shiny players, and I don't know if they're finishing top four as it stands. I mean, what is that Van Dijk doing, man? How can he even come out and say it was the win? Shut up, man. Well, what are you doing? I'm glad they lost the game because
And
they deserved to lose. Yeah.
claiming he was pushed on the third one. Like if that was a foul, then no goal should be allowed at this point in the Premier League.
Not
But
a physical
when
sport.
Jamie Carragher told Casemiro to leave the game before the game leaves him, I'm beginning to feel like he was just hating because I think this would be the perfect time to say that statement. Maybe Van Dijk should leave the game before the game leaves him. Talk
That's
about
true.
Bournemouth first leg. He's running to the right while Semenyo is running to the left. He's not even seeing where Semenyo is. He leaves Semenyo with a straight path to run to, and Semenyo puts it away.
Yeah.
And even before the season began, I called out Van Dijk when Liverpool played AC Milan in the friendly. Leao kept coming and Van Dijk kept moving away and leaving him a space. And in the end, and it looked like Leao put away a very good finish. I don't know if you remember that game. And I was like,
Yeah.
whether it's a friendly or not a friendly, Van Dijk should be attacking this game. Why is he switching off?
Yeah.
And those are just a few games. Like there are so many games that Van Dijk has been at fault. I don't know which game he gave away a penalty by handling the ball stupidly. He's just been
The other one,
he's just been all over
tripped
this
the
season.
guy right there. Was it Sunderland or was it Brentford? He just stepped on the guy. No threat after the handball. You remember?
Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford. Yeah,
And
he's been
when
putting
Slot says
stinkers. I
that,
think people are pointing Konate, but Konate is out, and we're kind of seeing the real culprit. Scooby Doo take
that's
off
the
the
problem.
mask. I mean, yeah, and I'm glad Konate is gonna walk free now. Because yeah, it's been a Van Dijk has been out. Kakes looks like he's lost. They don't even know who is the right back, and they've been kind of trying to blame Konate all this while. And yeah, I think Van Dijk cost them the game, and Liverpool are really shaky. I don't know why the manager is not. I don't know how many lifelines he has, but I guess he's another English manager. He's in the top 8 of the Champions League, and he won the league, so he has some grace. But he should be talking about replacement right now with the way things are going and how much they spent. I'm wondering why there is no pressure.
Yeah, when it comes to blame, I find it to be 50-50. Though I don't understand why the manager was very quick to say Konate is at the crime scene so many times. But I think Van Dijk has been at the crime scene more. But also, the reason why I say it's 50-50 is you look at Liverpool and they don't have a solid right back because Frimpong is not one, and the other boy is out for the season. I think so. And then Van Dijk is not in shape. Konate is not in shape, and they left Quensa to go. I don't know why they made it look like Quensa was surplus to requirements. When how was he surplus in a department that doesn't have defenders? And then they trying out. Yep, and they're trying out Kakes on the other side. Kakes is not that really solid, and the fact that Spurs are talking to their
Robertson.
fullback. They're trying to get Robertson. Spurs are trying to get Robertson. It means they don't really rate Robertson in Liverpool. So this team does not have a defensive back. And the fact that they were trying to, I don't know if this was, I heard Stevie saying that why were they trying to get Guehi on the very last minute? Like, is that when they realized that they didn't have defenders?
Yeah.
So it's more of Slot is not doing himself a favor. But if you look at how they approached that, the team spent almost $500 million, and then you don't have a right back, you don't have a backup center back, and you don't even have a solid left back, and you spent $500 million. Then you also have to question a decision making, like how did this really happen? You know?
Yeah.
And
How they got there?
he's also being
Yeah.
let down. Yeah, he's also being let down. Slot is also being let down by the big boys because I think to give Van Dijk 400 million quid a week contract is show of trust. If you give Salah 4,000 quid a quick contract is show of trust. And at this point, I feel like Liverpool were lucky that Trent turned down a contract because now they'll be having another player, Trent, who is also making 400 a week, who is also not in shape because he hasn't really done it at Real Madrid. So there's that part where there was not good signing defensively. There's the part where Van Dijk and Salah, those are the boys who ran the title race, the title charge last season. They all got their big contracts and then they went. At that point, I feel like Slot is being let down. But also, if you have a team that won a title, then there's potential in that team, and you cannot be here fighting for fourth. Like you don't have a gap. You are in fourth, but don't have a gap with fifth. You don't have it. One match
Yeah.
week, and Man United and Chelsea have overtaken you, and you're back there in sixth position. So I think that Slot should be probably the level where Man City and Aston Villa are at the moment. And where he is, I
Yeah.
mean, you can talk about 13 games without a win before without a loss, 12 games without a loss before Bournemouth. But had they not picked 4 consecutive draws, I mean, three
Yeah.
consecutive draws
Yeah.
fired Amorim, but
Yeah.
Slot has
Yeah.
picked 4 consecutive draws and then followed up with a loss. So he ain't doing himself a favor there.
But if they are serious, we understand, okay, we found ourselves in this position. This is January. We tried to get Gay on the last day. We clearly need a center back. Why are we in 26th, 25th January? They've not gotten a center back. They were talking about getting Mickey van de Ven from Spurs. And I'm like, if you're talking about getting him, then just go get him. You want to talk about him like Gay again. Then people will feel like, so if we really put down this on Spurs, they'll give us Van de Ven. And someone else will pick him, someone that is more serious. I think Liverpool are at that point where they spent money and they don't trust him. And we know where this is heading because if they trusted him, he needs backup right now. Definitely. He needs backup at this back to move forward. And if they're not backing him up and they were willing to give him a center back on the last day of the window, then they don't trust him. And I think the sooner they let go of him, the sooner they bring Xabi Alonso. I think. I don't know.
Okay, I think it's that point where I normally lose you for some time. So I lost you for a quick minute there.